guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me again, that happy girl. So remember the last time we were talking about what to do before you ask, say yes, and I do. In case you didn't watch the first part of this series, the link is up here. Just click on it, catch up with before following us up on this part 2 of the series. So basically, this video I said earlier is for intending couple who want to find that partner, get married, settle down, start having kids. Before you choose or before you decide on this person, there are a couple of boxes I said that we need to check before proceeding. At least if that person scored up to 80% or 70, a worst case scenario, then you guys are good to go. And also make sure that the remaining 30% do not fall in the category of your deal breakers before you so basically your score sheet should be individually based, right? So moving on, I mentioned a couple of about four bullet points I made in the last video, so I'm going to just continue from this one. So next thing you need to find about or to think about is abuse. Yes, it's a very broad topic, right? Abuse. Is he abusive? Is she abusive? Oftentimes when we hear abuse, our mind runs to a guy beating a girl and a man beating a woman. But no, abuse can be physical, can be emotional, can be mental, it's broad. Like anything you are doing to your partner that is causing him or her harm, both either physically, mentally, or otherwise, is abuse. So I'm going to start from the guys now. Now, sister, ask yourself, is he the type that is quick to raise his hand? Yes, maybe during courtship he may not actually land that hand, but is he one to always raise his hand when you offend him or when he feels offended? That's a sign right there. Does he actually do the slapping? He may not like box you or kick you or beat you or fight you. Does he like tap you or push you or there are certain signs that point to the fact that this guy is an abuser. And when you see these things, it's never going to get better. That I can promise you. It never gets better. It only gets worse. Because at those early stage that everybody is being almost pretentious, you want to be liked, you want to be the best, most of these bad characters are not expressed, alright? Until when I don't cross over, the I do's have been exchanged, and then everybody like, what's there to lose? And everybody begin to lose guard. Then the true colors begin to show. So find out if during your courtship he's one to always raise his hand. That's a sign right there. Wrong. Now that's for the guy. Some girls actually do raise hands. They are quick to beat and punch. There are love punches and beats, so that one is different. It's not the one I'm talking about. So all those ones that the girl begin to find bottle because you guys are having an argument. Yeah, she may not actually use it, but that's a sign right there you need to be watchful for. Okay? Now, that's for physical abuse. How about emotional and mental abuse? Sister, some of us women can actually set a house on fire with our own tongues. Like our mouth is that what do you call things that can set things on fire? The words fail me. But basically what I'm trying to say is that most of us can actually set a house on fire with just our tongue. Are you the type that can actually nag a man into considering ending his life? Like, I'm better off not being alive than staying with you? Or the type that would rather stop over from work at a bar or joint just to while away time, so that by the time he gets home, you're either too tired or asleep? There are so many ways we can abuse our spouses. Not caring for them, taking care of them. That's for we women. Either not bothering about their welfare, not cooking, taking care of the house. All those things are abuse. Yes, abuse does not only mean when you exchange blows or punches. There are so many other ways you can abuse your partner, either by nagging, by being careless, by not being bothered about your spouse. So these things can be easily noted during courtship, and we need to put our eyes down, look beyond that sledge and that figure and that abs, look beyond it and look out for these things, because if they are there, they are there. There's nothing you can do about it. Don't say I did not warn you. Ideologies. What are your individual ideologies about life, science, politics, religion, and all that? What do you guys believe in? Is he somebody who doesn't even believe in the existence of God? Maybe he's an atheist. Sister, can you cope? You be praying and he'll be one corner looking at you and smearing at you. What's this one doing? And won't even allow you to train your children as a Christian or Muslim or whatever religious background you're from. So you guys need to have unity of ideals. What's your outlook in life? Because apart from having unity of ideas, these are going to form the basis of your conversation at home as a couple. You understand? When you want to have a conversation, maybe want to talk about politics, right? So do you guys believe in the same thing, or you end up bringing the political wars outside to your home because you belong to different political school of thoughts or parties, as the case may be? You know, so it's really good if you guys belong to the same ideological group, you know, so that you can talk about things reasonably and exchange ideas, bounce ideas off each other, right? About life, about science, like what is your view about medicine, right? Some people don't believe in taking orthodox medicine, they believe in faith healing. I hope there won't be a conflict of interest when you guys have kids tomorrow and your husband wants to take your kids to the hospital and you rather take him to the man of God. So if you guys are not aligned in these areas, that's a red flag there that needs to be paid attention to. You guys must, at least, if not in every sphere of life, your ideals in life, medicine, science, religion, but at least they should meet somewhere. They must not be exactly the same, but there should be there's a junction where you guys meet. So you have something to talk about while you're at home together. So don't forget, pay close attention to this one too, okay? When I talk about ideologies, these are opportunities to find out this other person's temperament, because oftentimes when you guys are disagreeing all the time, you find out one person is always want to hit the table, lash out, bang the door, get upset, leave the house and all that shit. So we really need to, it might look, and it doesn't really matter, we must not be football lovers, we must not be political people, we must not be news people, but man, if you guys are totally north and south pole when it comes to these things, man, no problem. Oh, you always want to watch the news and you want to watch your Telemundo or your one telenovela, or his boys are playing football and he's such a football fanatic that even if his team loses, na wahala, and you're not a sports lover. Can you deal with it? Even if it's not sports, because yeah, my husband is a sports lover, I'm not one, but he's not too fastidious about it. But then we also have other places where we link. We love watching movies together, we're reading, not so much. The kind of music I like is the kind he likes, so there's no like okay, let me play my own and then you start dragging remote. We just make sure you and this person have a lot in common. You understand? If you must have a few things you don't quite have in common, it should just be a few, you know, and you can then use that opportunity that your spouse is having, that his me time with his thing, and then you have your own me time, because once in a while you also need a break, all right? But let what you don't have in common not outweigh what you have in common. I hope you understand. Moving on. Biological compatibility. Remember, the list I was giving out is in no particular order, okay? So just come with me. I just say them as they come to me. So none is more important than the other. They are all equally as important as the other, okay? So biological compatibility, whenever we hear about compatibility, oftentimes when you hear that word compatibility and marriage, all people think about is genotype and blood group. There is more to being biologically compatible. And boys and girls, blood group, genotype is not only AA and AS. There are so many other AC, SS and all those ones. You understand? So find out from the beginning. Because I see people who come up, he's AS, I'm AS, what can we do? Yes, thank God for science. It is not the end of the world if both the guy and the girl are both AS carriers, okay? There are some scientific maneuvers that can be done for you guys to still be married together and have healthy children, okay? But you really have to, have the cheddar for it. It only means you cannot just consider natural conception. You don't just leave yourself and then conceive like regular AA couples. No, you have to plan it, and not only plan it, possibly go for selection like IVF and all those, where they will have to check the sperm and the egg and all those before they do all those there, you know, make sure that this one is not a carrier cell before they implant in the woman's womb. So we really need to pay attention to this. So if you think you love this guy so much, you love this girl so much, and you don't want this biological incompatibility to come between the two of you, make sure it is something that has a solution handy, or that you guys are not really fastidious about having children. Yes, there are some couples like that who don't care whether they have children or not. It's not a deal breaker. Come, cool. If they don't, come. So those are things you have to think about. If you're not so about having children, okay, go ahead. If you have the money to go the scientific route to still have children, healthy children, irrespective of your cell makeup, then by all means go ahead. So there is your genotype, there is a blood group. I don't think that's much of a problem. Blood group, yeah, you must not have the same blood group to marry, but at least you need compatible genotypes to go ahead. And also there's another one that most of us don't know about, and you find out that most couples who only have one child today, that is actually the problem, but wasn't found out on time. Rhesus factor, yes. You know, when you see your blood group and you see D negative, B positive, and that positive and negative, that's the rhesus factor of your blood group. So I learned negative rhesus factor and negative rhesus factor is okay, but if the man is positive and the woman is negative, I think I'm not going to be all scientific now, just make your own research, but there's an issue with it. You can ask your physician or something. If the woman is negative, especially when it's the woman being the negative rhesus factor, I learned that after your first pregnancy, there is a medicine, a drug, an injection that needs to be given to the woman, so that on her subsequent pregnancies, her body, her system will not consider the pregnancy as a disease or as a foreign body and attack it, which usually leads to subsequent miscarriage after the first child for negative rhesus factor women with a positive partner. Do you understand? So yes, ask about it when you're going for your premarital compatibility check. Aside from your blood group and your genotype, also find out about your rhesus factors. Those ones are equally important. As among other things are your STDs and all those. You also need to find out, is this person HIV positive? Yes, it's not. I also learned that it's not the end of the world again for people, but this is need to be out there. So if you're going ahead with the relationship, you need to know that yes, I don't mind, it's fine, instead of going about it deceptively. So whatever is your HIV status, you put it out there. All this venereal disease status, you put it out there to your spouse. So if he or she decides to still go ahead with the relationship, with the marriage, she will know what she's going into. If she needs to start taking medications to protect herself, these things need to be talked about, guys. There's no point hiding it, because oftentimes couples who end up hiding these things and their partners find out in the long run, usually leads to discord and sometimes the end of the marriage. We don't want that now, do we? So we need to bring these things out there. Even if it's going to end the relationship, let it end it before the marriage, because like they say, a broken courtship is way better than a broken marriage. So please, guys, pay attention to this. Family relationships. How does this girl feel or act when you call your people on the phone, when you send money to your parents or your siblings? How does this guy act when you're always on the phone with your family, when you send money to your mom or dad, or when you ask him to please help you send money to your family? Is he a family-oriented person like you, or he's a one man, one wife, every other person go to her kind of guy or girl? These are things you need to find out, so that you will not see tomorrow, my husband doesn't like my mommy or my siblings to visit, or my wife don't like my family to visit. If you see these signs in the beginning, it doesn't change. This is how she is. So if you know you are a community person, that your entire village must come and live with you and your wife, let her know from the beginning. And auntie, if you can't deal, walk. Don't come and bring asunder. This is the life he's used to, communal living. If you're the I want to be left alone with my husband kind of girl, just know that uncle is not like that. Bounce, so that he will marry the auntie that will like his entire community. Don't come and so please, you guys need to check these things out. If you are the breadwinner, you being the girl breadwinner of your family, and your husband is the don't send anything to anybody kind of guy, you really need to think about it. I hear some ladies who have to give other people their monies to hold for them, to hide from their husband, because they wouldn't want the husband to know when they are sending monies to their families. Now check them. It's not cool, you know. So from the beginning these things are there, but most of us are all looking forward to wearing that ring. We overlook everything on the side of the road. That ring only takes a second to enter here. After entering, then every other thing on the side will just come in your face, boom. And at that time it's now too late to retreat. No retreat, no surrender. So we need to pay attention to these things from the beginning, when we still have not much to lose. All it takes is just to do a U-turn and leave. Because I remember the day I went to court to sign for our court registration. So as I'm about to put pen to paper, the registrar, that's what they're called, right? As we say, stop. For the last time, I want to warn the two of you. See this paper that is so easy, you came the other day to inform us, and then today is for the sign and all that. How many minutes? Straightforward. Pam pam pam. See this thing that took you guys, let me say, seconds to sign. To unsign this thing, it's not a walk in the park. So think again before your signature enters this certificate. Think again for the last time. Are you sure you want to go ahead with this? So my dears, it's easier to walk in, but walking out is the problem. So when you still have enough room to do your reverse and turn around and take the other road, you better take it than when you are now at a cul-de-sac that turning is now almost impossible. Think about it. Moving on. Customs and traditions. Find out if there are things in his custom that you cannot tolerate. Like, I know some customs whereby if the woman commits adultery, she goes mad. Mad. For real. Except she appeases the gods of the land by doing one or two rituals here and there. If you cannot stomach that, my dear, bounce. Especially when you're not sure, when you just, if you cannot stomach that, because you might not commit adultery, but you could be raped, or anything could go wrong, or you could be drugged. I don't want to go into that detail, but if you know that it's a deal breaker to you, find out from the beginning and make sure to tell each other of these things, so that it doesn't come upon your spouse as a surprise after the wedding, after the wedding, after the wedding. Okay, if you have all this weird tradition, the wife must do this, the wife must be initiated into this cult or group, the husband must be this, that. You guys need to bring it out there, talk about it, make sure it's something you're comfortable with, that you can handle, that you can actually, go along with, not something that doesn't sit down well with you. So please find out about your customs and your traditions, and make sure whatever it is that this guy has from his own place, this girl has, is something that is okay with you. It's not a deal breaker. Okay? Most of us women have those exes that we still have wingy feelings left for somewhere. So assuming you get married to that village that the women go mad after adultery, auntie, if you know that something like that is bound to happen, please from the beginning, do a U-turn and go. So yes, remember how I told you I'm going to be breaking this series into parts. So appears I'm going to bring this part to an end at this point. Okay, so take note of the pointers I've put out there, and make sure you assimilate them well. They are very, very important. None is more important than the other. They are all equally as important. Okay, in case you haven't already done that, please my dears, go ahead to like this video or unlike it, whatever. Just react to it, leave me your comments at the comment section. If you haven't done so already too, please subscribe to my channel. Please I beg you, help me. Okay, please subscribe to my channel, and there's this bell notification beside the subscribe button. Please click on it so that the moment I put up a video, boom, you are notified. Okay, until I see you again, lovelies, take care of yourself, stay happy, stay safe, remain blessed, and I love you all.